A franchise I want to see a continuation of, without any question, is Rage. This is a franchise, guys, that, obviously up to this point, we've gotten 2 games. The first one I thought was, had a lot of really cool elements to it. I thought that the second game, it built off of those. I thought it did some things better, some things worse in Rage 2. But I believe in this IP and the franchise and kind of where they were trying to, where they're trying to go. And I think that they've got a lot of potential here in terms of making a Rage 3. So I want to talk about that in this segment of the show. So Rage 3, guys, is this a game that could potentially come out? Well, there's 2 things that happen to any franchise that will help continue the franchise or cancel any continuation or put a franchise into a limbo state or a state of no return. Those 2 things, number 1 is money, and then number 2 is reception. The first thing, when it comes to money, guys, in terms of Rage as a franchise, it's made money. There's no doubt. But did it make enough money? That's the big question. Because obviously, when you look at the numbers from Rage and Rage 2, there's going to be some differences, right? And obviously, they marketed Rage 2 in a heavy way. I thought the marketing was awesome for Rage 2, but it didn't land as well as really the first one did. Even though I loved the second game overall, there are some things which I'll get to that I didn't like, but I thought that they built off of the first one and they did some pretty cool things. Now, the second thing is the reception. First game did well. Second game, it did okay, but it had a lot of critics come in to a number of things in terms of the world. And that was my biggest complaint with the game as well, was that there was a lot of just open space, not a lot, to do. And I think that they could have added so much more stuff into Rage 2 to just bring it back to the experience over and over again. And they didn't do that. And Rage was a title that I personally believe would have been an incredible multiplayer experience. And obviously, with what we got in Rage 2 and, the developers coming out before the game even came out, we're talking about already moving on to Rage 3, like the next game, when Rage 2 hadn't even released yet. And that was pretty mind-blowing to me. Even though I thought that Rage 2, I thought it was going to do well. And so did probably the developers and publishers thought, hey, you know what? It's going to do well. And obviously the game comes out and it doesn't do quite as well as they were anticipating from sales numbers or from, a critical reception. And obviously that leads us now to where we are with the Rage franchise. And right now, guys, I believe that we are in a limbo state or a potential state of no return with Rage 3 ever coming out to the world. And it's a really unfortunate thing, but not all hope is lost, because another franchise that I was concerned about, that we would never get a continuation of, but we kept on pounding the table. We kept on trying to, echo the game and the continuation into existence, was Dead Space. And guess what? We had been pounding this table for a long time. And you know what? It wasn't just, us. It was the entire community came together, went to EA, whether it was through Reddit, social media, whatever it was, creating content here on YouTube, streaming about it on Twitch. We wanted another Dead Space title. And sure enough, after all those years, we got a Dead Space remake. And now it's really rebooted the franchise. And I think we're going to get a lot more continuations in the future of Dead Space, which is absolutely awesome. Rage is something similar to me, because I feel that, yes, they took a step in the right direction in certain areas, but they took a step in the wrong direction in other areas. And so how can they implement moving forward in Rage 3? How can we get this game to be made? It's going to be us, guys, the community, coming together, voicing our opinion to the developers, voicing our opinion once again to the publishers, and echoing Rage 3 into existence. That's what it's going to take. It's as simple as that. The community has to voice that we want this game to come out. I definitely, at the very least, want this to get rounded out as a trilogy. If we already had the trilogy and the third game didn't do really well, I probably, especially if the third game I thought was good enough, I would be voicing and wanting to see a Rage 4. So us getting the second game, which I thought was another somewhat teased between having like a full package, which is what I really wanted, be having like co-op modes, multiplayer modes, the single player story, which is what we got. I really think that they had so much more that they could have given to this franchise, but it's up to us, guys. Let's make it happen. Let's make Rage 3 happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you want to play Rage 3? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Rage 3 content and videos, stay here with zrotv.